Unboxing videos are stupid, but I've been looking forward to what's inside of this box for almost 2 years now, and I bet you're just as curious as I am. So let's open it up and see what Bambulab has been cooking up in their lab full of bamboo. Though based on the little bit that I know already, it's not gonna be what you think. Holy printhead. Honestly, this is what I was hoping to see. It has a freaking laser beam on it. Never would have saw that coming. Bambulab is gonna be playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. If you read the comment section of my videos, the internet has got me all figured out. I'm a secret Bambulab shill sent here from China just to dunk on competitors. Not really. It turns out they just make really good stuff. So I invested in some of their equipment, made some videos about it. They like that, and now they want to send me stuff like their new flagship machine. And I'll be honest, I've been waiting for a long time for something like this to come out. But my first inkling that this was not going to be your typical Bambulab setup was when I got the shipping notification that it was going to show up on a pallet and required 2 people to lift it. So it turns out the box is pretty big and heavy, but the term pallet was a little much. I mean, look at this little guy. It's adorable. Anyway, I got the box moved down the hallway and into the studio, and then more boxes, and then more boxes. So obviously my curiosity is at an all-time high. What could possibly be in all of these boxes? So what do you say we open them up, starting with the big guy? All right, so don't really know a whole lot of what to expect. I just know it's gonna be big. Is this a box in a box? Of course it is. All right, I'm just gonna cut the box. How about that? Okay. If there was ever a time for a drum roll, probably now. What do you know? More packaging material. I usually throw these away because I unbox so many of these things, but this one being so new, I don't think I can throw it away. Supply box. Set that aside. Holy mother of Jesus. I feel like you could drop this thing out of an airplane at this point. 2 or more people need to carry this. Yeah, that's funny. What if you're just one YouTuber? Oh gosh. I feel like I should probably move this onto a table now. One moment. Oh my gosh. Whew. You know, I thought about doing this as a live stream, but that would have been a terrible idea. Big glass top. All right, so we got accessory box and the AMS is shoved in there. Okay, so first thing that me too, will have questions about is this thing that's called a cutting module. This is how you also know that this thing is not your average 3D printer. It comes with an e-stop button. E-stop button for your printer, okay. Okay, toolbox, that's what I'm after. Ooh, man. Upgraded their Allen wrench. That's nice. Oh, it's out. This is the AMS 2, which we'll get into, but I think this has got some really cool features. And holy printhead, I gotta show you this. So this is what we're dealing with here. Look at this thing. Dual nozzles, and they look like they go up and down like that. There's kind of like a mechanism in here. Yeah, there's some sort of like cam system that rocks back and forth. Okay, so right off the bat, big, right? Everybody wanted big, I think, so the fact that they went big is great. But there's one question I know I had immediately when I saw this, and you probably do too, is how big? I'll be right back. All right, this is the print sheet from the Prusa XL, a big printer, something that I'm sure Bambulab is trying to compete with. I'm just curious how they compare. So again, Prusa. Oh, slightly smaller, but pretty close. I'll read the specs for this thing at the end. But right off the bat, the XL does appear to be a little bit bigger. Not bad. Okay. Okay, your next question might be, what is up with this ugly green glass? I don't know how easy that is to show on the camera. Oh, there you go. That, as maybe you've guessed, is laser safe acrylic. Why would they need laser safe acrylic on a 3D printer? Let's open another box. Okay. No idea what's in this one. But I do have a guess. Remember I said I kind of know a little bit, or at least have an idea? Well, the details on the packing information, or the shipping information, I should say, leaked a little bit of the details. Ooh, this is something else. This is an AMS HT. Oh, would you look at that? Little single spool AMS, probably for special filament, maybe like engineering filament. We'll get into that in a minute, but pretty cool. There's a smaller AMS unit. I guess you could set it on top. Kind of funny. Okay, so this is I believe what they're calling the AMS 2. Okay, got some sort of ventilation tube or something out there. Yep, some sort of ventilation thing. Having a couple laser cutters. I'm pretty sure that's what the laser safe glass is for. Some sort of exhaust. Okay, first thing I notice about this AMS 2. The form factor looks about the same, but I want you to look, and I just had to deal with this today. Do you see you have access to all the tubes for the filament? How cool is that? So if you get a jam in one of these, which it does happen, let's just be honest, it looks like you now don't have to take it apart to unjam it, which is cool. The other thing that I think this has, yeah, if you look on the bottom here, there's this air vent. There's actually two of them. There's one back here, it's kind of hard to see, and there's one here. This AMS 2 Pro, I think they're calling it, has like active drying. So it's not just that you're putting desiccant in the box and sealing the box. I think this actually either draws air in or expels air depending on if your filament's wet or dry. Anyway, I think it's to keep your filament drier longer. So I don't know if this little guy has the same stuff. Yeah, it's got the same kind of vent thing on the bottom. It's got the same two plugs on the back, just like a regular AMS. This AMS 2 Pro also has it, so two plugs. So I'm guessing you can daisy chain multiple of these just like you can the others. I want to see if there's the laser module in one of its other boxes. Let's get that open. Okay. See what's in this guy. Bambulab t-shirt, because I'm a shill. Looks like we got a print sheet of some kind. Let's set that aside. Got a bunch of little things in here, so I'm just going to take them out. Holy cardboard. Okay, so this first box, laser module, 10 watt. I also happen to know, I don't know if I have it yet, but there's going to be another laser module in addition to this. Whoa, look at this thing. How cool is that? So that looks like it mounts right on the front of the print head. That's interesting. This one we got support for PLA. So the first thing I thought of when I saw the dual nozzle setup was that, first of all, most people probably only print with two colors or materials anyways. I know a lot of people like the idea of printing with a bunch of different materials, but in reality, it's usually two, or a material and a support material. So like a dissolvable support or something like that. So the fact that it comes with a support, a spool of support, which I don't know if it's PVA, it's dissolvable. I don't know. But that's an interesting setup. And then when you pair a dual nozzle with an AMS, obviously you can switch. And I think they're just trying to maybe compete with faster multicolor prints, multi-material prints. This to me screams more of like an engineering machine, just based on how it's put together. And I'll give you more shots of inside. I don't know what this little box is. It is a nozzle, 0.4 millimeter high flow nozzle. It looks very similar to, it's kind of a mix between the nozzle design of the A1s and the P and X series. Little nozzle there. What's in this box? Power cord or something. Let's see what this build sheet is. Oh, that is pretty trippy looking. It's kind of hard to see. Let me take it out of the plastic. I think I have an idea of what this is for. All right, I'm not gonna take the whole thing off, but you can see that pattern on there. This looks like some sort of calibration. And actually, holy cow. I'll show a shot of it, but each one of these little squares has what looks like a tiny QR code in it. Yeah, so there you go. Right there, it says Bamboo vision encoder. Crazy. So this thing's probably got some sort of multiple cameras for optical alignment? No way. No way. Can't really see where they are, but dang, Bamboo. See, this is, honestly, this is what I was hoping to see. I was hoping that we weren't just going to get a big printer with even if it had a tool changer. That's kind of like what I was expecting. I think that's what a lot of people were expecting. I think what we're looking at here is an example of how Bambulab is going to be playing chess while everyone else is playing checkers. Oh, gosh. All right. Aha. Quick start guide for the Bambulab smoke purifier, which has to do with the laser. A laser and a 3D printer. What? Never would have saw that coming. Oh. How is it that everything they make just looks nice? Okay, so we got our standard smoke purifier thingy here. So we got a filter media. We got one filter here, another filter here. Yeah. So basically a bunch of subsets of filters work their way down. So as you're cutting, which I'm assuming you use the laser for cutting things, right? That's what you use a laser for. You're not stinking everything up. Now, one giant question I have, having a couple of laser cutters myself, is, you know, it doesn't take long after using those laser cutters that the inside of the machines get kind of gummy. So it's cool that this has functionality of being a laser cutter, but what's going to stop the inside of the printer from getting all gunked up? Even if you have really good ventilation, you're still burning through stuff. Anyways, okay. All right. We got one more box to go. I'm curious what you're thinking as you're watching this. I mean, again, unboxing videos are lame. I know. But I know a lot of people have been curious about this thing. What kind of functionality is it going to have? How big is it going to be? Is it going to have multi-heads? You know, multi-nozzles, whatever it is. Okay, this looks like a material sample kit or something. So we got pebbled leatherette fabric, 2mm cork sheet for cutting out on the laser, I'm sure. Glossy acrylic. We got 3mm basswood plywood. We're making tiny plywood things. 3mm black walnut plywood. Ooh, fancy. Got heat transfer vinyl. Heat transfer vinyl. Maybe that's with the cutter attachments. And 3mm of bamboo plywood. How fitting. Bamboo plywood. All right, that's all for that one. So, little sample kit of material. So these three things here is really what we think is going to create the most questions, and that is the the e-stop button, which goes with the other functions, I'm assuming beyond just the 3D printer. The laser module, which again, this is the 10 watt. There is a more powerful 40 watt, which I think I'm getting. It's just not here yet. And a cutting module. So the cutting module, let's just open this. Again, who had this in their bingo card? I mean, come on. Ooh, I bet I know what that is. Yep. Let me show you something. I saw these in the accessory kit. These are two little pins. And I thought, you know what? Why would they give you pens? Why would pens come with this? But I think what this is an attachment to make it like a plotter. Like you can draw with it. Like this thing draws. It draws pictures. Not only prints in 3D, but now they print in 2D. They're taking all the Ds. So yeah, so you got the, you know, your little pen sticking out there like that. Tighten this down. This looks some sort of machine thingamajig here. Probably goes somewhere in the printer, and now you got a drawing machine. I mean, come on. Everyone else is fighting over just trying to copy their last iteration. Good luck with this one. All right, look at this thing. This is pretty wild. So it's got a cable here, obviously for interacting at the print head. Oh, that's why that cover's on there. There's a really tiny sharp blade there. Like that. Hard to see. A little blade on there. I guess it'd be like a drag knife for if you want to cut, like in the materials, the vinyl or something. So you can cut things with it. Let's see what this laser module looks like. My mind is honestly a little blown right now. If it had just come out of the box and it was bigger and it had the dual changing nozzles, I'd be good. I'm pretty sure everyone else would be good too. And maybe you're watching this thinking, I don't want it to be a laser cutter, or I don't want it to have a drag knife or a pen plotter. I think that's the beauty of it. You don't have to. I did see in some of the documents that they shared with me that there's going to be a laser version and a non-laser version. So the laser version obviously is going to have the green laser safe glass. The non-laser version should just have regular glass. I think you can upgrade it if you choose to do this later. But man, look at this thing. Looks like a friggin' Star Wars laser gun or something. Look at that. You know, as someone who makes products and sells them, and obviously I'm not even on the same universe as someone like Bambulab, but everything, like the fit, the finish, the packaging, I mean, holy cow. Next level. So, it looks like there's two sort of like rails here that interact with the printhead somehow. And without breaking, okay, I didn't break it. Let me share with you what I'm doing. What I did was I popped off this cover. So you can see this cover kind of pops off right here. And you see these two features on either side on the front of the printhead. Oh, look at that. And this little cam lock locks it in place. And this goes somewhere. I don't know. Worry about that another time. But look at that. Now your printhead has a freaking laser beam on it. Dr. Evil's dream. I mean, look at, jeez. Let me take this back off just so you can admire this thing. Okay, so we got two nozzles. They go up and down like that. Some sort of cam system in here, a gear system or something that causes them to pivot up and down just enough to get out of the way for the other one that's printing. Ooh, the nozzle wiper is interesting. Show some shots of that, but a little bit, actually a totally different design than any of the other P or X series machines. The screen, we didn't even talk about the screen. Does this thing, ooh, it rotates out. Ooh, it feels a little flimsy. I'm kind of surprised by that. Another thing I'm noticing right off the bat is just how beefy this gantry is. So no carbon rods on the X-axis like previous versions. The Y-axis rods are humongous. X-axis is just a big linear rail, basically. Linear bearing. The Z-rods look huge. This thing is sweet. And that is the brand new Bambulab H2D, at least the unboxing of it. And one other thing I figured out while I was messing around. You remember how people kind of complain about the doors on these things? Look at the range of motion now. Whoa. Not quite 180, we'll call it like 170, but way better than before. Yeah, this, if you came to this video looking for like a full-on review, that's not what this is going to be. I still need to test it and put it through its paces and really see what this thing has. But what I've got here are the specs, and I'll share a couple of these. I'm not going to go through all of them, but I'll answer some questions that you probably have. Number one, build volume. Okay, so they've got a couple different versions. So they've got single nozzle printing is 325 by 320 by 325 millimeters. Dual nozzle printing, 300 by 320 by 325. So it's a little smaller in X, which makes sense because the nozzles are oriented in X, so you wouldn't be able to go the full way, I guess. Physical dimensions, it is 492 by 514 by 626 millimeters. Don't know what that is in freedom units, but it's big. It's quite a bit bigger than the jokingly small X1C back there. Hardened steel extruder gear, hardened steel nozzles. Max nozzle temperature is 350 Celsius. You can use all the regular nozzle diameters. Filament cutter built in, filament detection, sure. Max heat bed temperature, 120 C, fairly standard. Max speed of the tool head is 1,000 millimeters per second. And max acceleration is 20,000 millimeters per second squared. So the same speed and acceleration characteristics as the X1, which is pretty insane considering how big this thing is. Max flow for the hot end, 40 cubic millimeters per second. So they give a couple parameters of what that is. So that'll come out in testing. Active chamber heating supported. Ooh, this can do that too? What? You know, as I'm off camera, as I'm looking at all these little things, I'm noticing all these tiny details that I am starting to get a hint of what this thing can do. There's like these active vents and stuff all over this thing. So my brain is saying that it's a lot smarter than I think it is. Which is not what they say about me, by the way. All right, so it's got air purification. It's got a pre-filter, a HEPA filter, an activated carbon filter. Whoa. And it supports particulate matter filtration. Don't know what that means. I'm assuming because this is also a laser unit that they had to be extra good on ventilation and just air purification. Supported filaments, pretty much supports everything you could think of. Okay, sensors. This is the part I'm curious about. It's got a live view camera, which is 1080. It's got a nozzle camera, which is 1080. I wonder if the nozzle camera is what they use for that visual calibration. Bird's eye camera. Oh my God. The resolution of that is 3264 by 2448. I don't know what that works out to in terms of K, but that's got to be close to 4K, right? Wow. Tool head camera, also at 1080. So it's got a live view camera, a nozzle camera, a bird's eye camera, and a tool head camera. That's 4 cameras. Door sensor, yep. Filament runout, yep. Filament tangle, yep. Filament odometry, so I guess that's how much filament. Keep track of that. Max power. Holy mother. Okay, so max power, 1,320 watts at 110 volts. And it's 2,200 watts if you're at 220 volts. So 1,320 watts at like a standard US house plug, that is almost the capacity of a 15 amp circuit like in your house. So just don't plug a bunch of other stuff in with it. Average power, just over 1,000 watts, which is still kind of a lot. Touchscreen, a 5-inch up there. It looks about the same as the older X1. Motion controller is a dual core Cortex M4 and single core Cortex M7. If you speak nerd, you'll know what that means. Application processor, it's a quad core 1.5 gigahertz ARM A7. Neural processing unit, 2 tops. Thank God. I was hoping it only had 1 top. What's a top? Seriously, what's a top? Obviously it has Wi-Fi because that would be crazy. Okay, so I have 2 spec sheets in front of me. One says H2D Laser Edition, which I'm guessing what this is, and then there's just H2D spec sheet. I'm just going to go through real quick and make sure they're the same, except for obviously the green glass. Same max and average power, which is interesting. I would have thought the laser specific one would put out a lot more juice or need a lot more juice. Everything else looks about the same. So the only difference being, I think the green laser safe acrylic. Cutting module spec sheet. So the cutting area. Okay, so here you go. For cutting, you can cut an area of 300 by 285 millimeters. Drawing area is 300 by 255 millimeters. Supports a pen diameter of 10.5 to 12.5 millimeters. Max cutting thickness is 0.5 millimeters. So supported material would be paper, vinyl, leather, and more. You can cut leather. You can cut leather on a 3D printer and then burn a pattern in it with the laser? Okay, AMS2 spec sheet. Drying. Okay, so this section on drying is the interesting part. So highest temperature, 65 Celsius. Active moisture discharge, supported. Sealed storage, supported. Temperature and humidity detection and maintenance, supported. Real-time temperature and humidity can be displayed on the screen, Bamboo Studio and Bamboo Handy. I think the other one can show relative humidity. I can't remember. Okay, so there's a little note here. It says filament marked with a asterisk, which for here it says ABS, ASA, PET, PA, PC, PVA, BVOH, HIPS, and PETG carbon fiber. It says require higher drying temperatures. The AMS2 Pro cannot dry them completely. If you want better drying performance for these filaments, we recommend purchasing the AMS HT. So I was kind of right in my assumption. So the regular AMS, good for standard materials. The AMS HT, this little guy here, is for more of the higher performance materials. So that means, let's see. Yeah, so I have the spec sheet for the HT here. Highest temperature is 85C. So the highest temperature of the regular AMS2 Pro, 65C. It's 85C for the HT. So that's pretty cool. Most people probably get away with, running engineering grade materials in like a regular AMS, but the fact that they made a specific one for that is pretty rad. I don't know what else to say. I mean, unboxing videos are stupid, but this is exciting. I mean, look at the size of this thing. And all I keep thinking of is, how many do I have to buy now? Oh no. What else do you want to know about it? I know that really didn't give you a ton. That's just high-level stuff, but I hope that at least scratched the itch of you wondering what the heck the H2D was. I know most of us probably saw that leaked image, which kind of looked like this. I guess they were close, but I certainly did not see a laser module, a cutting module, an optical calibration routine. I got to learn a lot more about that. This thing, okay, I'll admit, I'll be real with you. When I got a hint that there was going to be some sort of laser capability in this, my brain immediately went to like, this is a gimmick. Like, what are they doing? Bambulab has lost their damn marbles. But after seeing this in person and understanding kind of what went into this, there's a lot more to this than just slapping a laser beam on the front of a printhead. So whether you use this, with a laser at all, I think is almost not even the point. I think everything else they've had to build into this is really impressive. I mean, holy cow. I can't wait to start using it. So I'm going to get this thing working. I'm going to try and make all kinds of crazy stuff. They have some like really cool example projects, like multi-material, multi-process projects, I guess you could say, where you use 3D printing and the cutter, or 3D printing and the laser, whatever it is. Yeah, I'm excited. So I'm going to put it to use. I'll do a review on it at some point. I'm not like a huge review guy totally, but for something like this, which I think is going to have a huge impact in the world of especially 3D printing business, I certainly am going to take my time with this one. So if you got any questions, leave those down in the comments. I'll try to answer them, especially as I go, as I play around with this thing. But yeah, here it is. It's out in the world and it's now live. So if you want to go check it out or buy one or get on the pre-order list, I don't even know if they're available. I don't know. I'll have links down below. You can go check it out. See ya.